How's everybody doing out there? Sunday, peasant chat, talking to poor people. That's right, talk to poor people. I think it's become more tightly knit, the peasant chat community. It used to be poor people that didn't have a membership would get their say, but now it seems to be like the super hardcore followers show up on peasant chat because, we would be a little more patient. We, as in me, my multiple personalities, I'd be a little more patient with stupid questions, but it seems to be now super hardcore guys get in here and hang out. Today, what we're going to talk about is EV being pushed back because of the incoming administration. A lot of people have noticed that the automakers, even overseas, Volkswagen, Porsche, and the like, are pushing back EV stuff a year because the world goes as the U.S. goes. Let's just be honest. And that's why a lot of people make me laugh when they say, well, the United States isn't the most important. Yes, it is. Whatever country you live in right now in Europe ain't shit without the U.S. protection. So please shut the fuck up with that, number one. Number two, it's the biggest economy in the world. So depending on what the outlying, let's say the EV, the mandates, if they still have mandates and everything going on, well, if the United States starts pushing EVs, the rest of the world starts pushing EVs. That's just how it is, plain and simple. But it seems to be that the incoming administration is less likely to do any mandates and say, hey, let the people buy what they want. And that has forced manufacturers to go, shit, slow down, halt on the hardcore EV push. Let's still build ICE vehicles people want. But the problem is this. There's a huge change in what the customer base wants. Sports cars, muscle cars, etc. are kind of dying. And based on the short research that I've done, in 2015, the Mustang sold 100,000 plus cars. And since then, it's struggled to meet 50 or like half of that. For whatever reason, between Gen 1 and Gen 2 Mustang, once the Gen 2 Mustang was introduced, it was a huge plus. Now, let's be honest, in 2015 was the first time they were able to sell the Mustang all over the world, meaning Europe, Russia, China, wherever the hell you wanted a Mustang, you could buy it. But before it was US only, so those numbers are a little skewed. But I'm still of the mindset that the Charger, Challenger, and Camaro being gone, and the Mustang struggling to hit 40,000 units per year after 23 tells me that the product is bad. Like, I owned a 2018 Mustang and a 2019 Mustang, and those two things felt cheap on the interior. A 2015 to 2017 Mustang, for whatever reason, I don't know if it's the leather, I don't know if it's the materials, I don't know if it's whatever, it just feels more quality. It is a weird thing. And those of you that have never driven a Gen 2, get in one. Hell, get in a Recaro seat equipped GT500 or a Recaro seat equipped GT with a Brembo package. You're gonna go, this thing is pretty freaking good. So we can talk about that. We can also talk about other stuff that's going on out there that you guys might be privy to, the stuff that happened on Facebook, people shutting down pages. I can't really get into it too much because that shit ain't over. That's gonna be an interesting one to watch. But we'll talk about that and many more things, but not before Mr. Bill O'Reilly tells us to do it live.
Okay. We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live! Fucking thing sucks!
It does suck, Mr. Bill O'Reilly. We had a couple of days till Christmas, so we're going to keep the sponsors as is. They have been wonderful all year, so we are not going to switch over the stuff. We're going to keep everything the same. DNAPerformance.com, DNAPerformance, the online parts house for the show. Any parts you want to buy. 4 Innovation fuel system, injectors, PMAS intakes, wheels, tires, wells. I bought 4 stars from them for the Corvette. Hit up DNAPerformance.com, mention the show, you might get a bit of a discount, and if you spend $1,000, you get a little cup for your troubles. PMAS, Nick James and PMAS, again, another great sponsor who has allowed me to give away cold air intakes, parts, map sensors, you name it, at will, whenever I want. I just haven't taken full advantage of it because I feel kind of weird about it, you know what I mean? But hey, he's supporting the show, and you gotta love that. Partsfarm.com, the online used car parts warehouse. You can buy a whole car from them. I bought the notchback from them. I bought GT500 balances. I bought exhaust. I bought headers. I bought a bunch of shit from the Parts Farm, and you can get a crank pellet engine, whatever. Partsfarm.com. Total Solution, Remington on Total Solution, the preeminent late model shop in Puerto Rico. He is a one-man show. Big respect to Rami Zaidan and Belak Industries. They are not necessarily a paying sponsor, but they allow me to say that they're the best drug dealer wheels on earth, and they don't trip about that stuff. They're super cool, Miami-based. If you sell drugs, you gotta get yourself a set of Belax. Why isn't the chat showing up? Here we go. Okay, and also Rich Prince, richprince.com. I am wearing the Hush Money sweater right now. They sent over a care package. Thank you guys so much. They sent over a white hat, trucker style hat, and they sent over a Hush Money. Where is it? Hush Money. I am wearing the black Hush Money sweater right now, and or the hoodie, and it's awesome. It's soft. It feels really nice. Check them out. And again, if you want to become a Patreon subscriber, you have access to these chats. You have access to me. You have access to direct messages. You got a bunch of like-minded people in here telling you what they do for work. A lot of people talking about what's happening in the industry. Show us your build. Stuff's for sale. I mean, check them out if you want to become a member of the Patreon chat. It's $15 a month, and you have access to me directly to DM and do a whole bunch of bullshit. Nick, Monty 540, and Joe Swish were the first guys to say hello. B. Lavesh, Z303 Camzilla, Frank Donahue, JD Swag, Coyote, Kelly Sam Morales, Ken Phillips, The Wolf, TJ Sikorsky, Rock Bottom Lee? Douche Don, Clint Stroke, Reginald Johnson, Craig Walls, Bill Noonan himself. What are you guys doing for the winter? Are you going to come down here and race come wintertime in Florida? Like, what's going on? Do you have like a program that races all year round, or do you take all winter off and refresh shit? Grant Winburn, EPA, 94 GT Vert, Ken McAllister, Dixon, Andy Ali, Mark Christensen, Matt Oliver, Tate Speaks, D-Rock Fox, Alfredo Diaz, Emery, Captain, Wesley Stewart, Underrated, and Technical Woods, RoboSal, D-Rock Fox, Bryson Witt, Phil Fez, Fairmont's Motor Plate. That might be for sale. There's a video I'm going to upload later tonight. The motor plate and brackets might be for sale. Actually, not for sale. I'm going to give them away. I'm not going to sell anything. I'm going to give them away. Raymond, Tango, Peter Chow, CPR, Andrew, Josh Roy, SBE, Dylon, the best rapper ever, Joseph, More Pubes, More Boost, Redbird, Cobra, Samot, Milan, Hassan Abbas, Ninja Man, Nardi Mercado in the house, Merc Stang, Joe Jackson, Frank Donahue, Carnage, Ugly Duck Garage, Bryson Witt, APOC. We got Risky Business, Zach, Dead, Cell, EPA says, does anyone know if Turvey's alive? Merc, Coyote, Risky Business, Nat Jew, Yannick, Twin Force says yes. So the EV push, you guys have started to notice that people are kind of pushing stuff back. I said about a year ago that your vote matters in such a way that you don't even realize it. You don't even realize how much your vote matters, because if you vote in a conservative style administration, what they're going to do is kind of let you do your shit and generally tax you less. But when it comes to the automotive and racing industry, that one really, really matters. So when I started looking up sales figures, I started kind of like getting a little teary-eyed, because I'm like, we were rocking and rolling in 2015. Now, I know that was the Obama years, but forget that. We were rocking and rolling. Everyone was, optimistic, buying cars. So I went to CJ Pony Parts. Okay, just CJ Pony Parts. And it tells you Mustang sales by year. And this is an amazing, amazing stat. It goes from 1964 and a half all the way to 2023. Now, we all know that in 2024, they sold almost 10,000 less units. I think high 40,000s. And it's really interesting to see the sales figures here on it's a visual representation of our industry. So let's start at Gen 1 Mustang. Gen 1, okay, when I say Gen 1, guys, I don't mean a 64 and a half fucking Mustang. Irrelevant, okay? Anything but a Fox body and up. Look, Fox body, 79 to 93. Forget all the two-valve shit. And the SN shit. SN to me is not even, that is trash, except for maybe the Cobra. And then 05 to 10, trash. Okay, so let's talk about Coyote, the one that matters. 2011, 70,000 cars, and every year subsequently is the next year. So 2012, 82,000, then 77,000, 82,000. 2015, 122,000. A huge jump between 2014, 82,635. That's a lot, though. That is almost as much as when the last model year of 2012, meaning the redesign, the refresh, then 82,635 in 14, 122 in 15, 105 in 16, 81, 75, 72, 61, 52, 47, 53. So we look at that. That is an interesting thing. In 22, they sold 47,000 units. And the last model year of the Gen 3 Coyote sold 53,000 units, telling me that people were like, this is the last one. The other one's untunable. So I started going, okay, every year up until 2023, they had competition. They literally had competition. So then I tried to Google, and this is very difficult to get, to be honest with you, unless you go to a website that crashes all the time. But I tried to look up sales figures for the Dodge Challenger, and it was real tough. So the only one I could actually come up with a apples to apples comparison was, let's do a Challenger in 2018, 66,000 units, and a Mustang in 2018, 75,000 units. So you're telling me collectively in 2018, people bought almost 140,000 Challengers and Mustangs. Now, when you look at the Charger, on top of that, when you look at the Charger, if you were to do the Charger, I don't think I can find a Charger in here, but the Challenger seems to be kind of the one that really matters. The Charger specifically was more, and I think the Charger, because it being a four-door, is not a good representation because a lot of cop cars were Chargers and whatever. And the Challenger, I think, is a better representation because less cop cars were Challengers. And again, Mustang was including EcoBoost, rental cars, convertible rental cars in Florida, all that shit. Rarely could you get a 5-liter rental car in Florida or Texas or California. So collectively in 2018, and you can almost, bring that out up till 2023, combined, they were selling over 100,000 units, Challenger and Mustang per year. Then all of a sudden, Challenger and Charger are gone. I'm saying gone, they don't exist. And the Mustang barely kept up with its previous sales figures. So that means that the Challenger Charger crowd bought something else. The people that were looking at a, let's say, big, comfortable, rear-wheel drive muscle car, because in my opinion, the Challenger is a muscle car, the Mustang is more of a sports car. What's a muscle car? Straight line, big, stupid horsepower, straight, that's it. Sports car kind of does everything. It's a jack of all, master of none, whereas the muscle car is a badass straight line car, nothing else. It doesn't brake good, it doesn't turn good, it doesn't do anything. So it's not a really good comparison, but let's be honest, in the United States, rear-wheel drive V8, that's all we give a fuck about. So they struggled to have 100,000 units. They had 100,000 units collectively, Challenger and Mustang, all the way up until 2023. And then all of a sudden, 24 Mustang came out. And you would have thought, people would have said, well, that's the only one available. I think we'll be able to sell 80,000. Like if the 24 Mustang sold 72 to 80,000 units, I would have gone, okay, it's popular. I'm telling you, when I go outside, I live in a well-to-do area. I know people are going to say, no, Riviera is not well-to-do. I throw a rock and I'm in Palm Beach Gardens. Literally share a zip code with Palm Beach Gardens, which is a very expensive, well-to-do area. I don't see 24 Mustangs. I see more Model Ys, X's, and Plaids, and Cybertrucks than I see a 24 Mustang. Very rarely do I see a 24 Mustang. It's actually interesting to be on the road. When I drove up to Tampa to have the Christmas party with the Lunds, I didn't see one goddamn 24 Mustang on the road. I sure as fuck saw Cybertrucks. I sure as fuck saw Teslas. I sure as fuck saw Challengers and Chargers. Not one 24 Mustang, even a rental car. So that tells me, and I know that's not a good indicator of what's happening in the rest of the United States. Actually, in this area, yes, it is. In a 24/7, 365 warm climate state, I think it's a better barometer of what's happening in the rest of the nation, aside from California, than most other places like Kansas, Oklahoma. So they're not even selling 40,000 units. That tells me that Mustang is no good. And for those of you that said, Alex, this thing is not a dud, okay, well, take the sales figures for it. Don't take my word for it. Take the sales figures for it. At the end of the day, if you don't sell product, it's not a good product. So what's Ford going to do? Is Ford going to all of a sudden unlock these? Is 2025 Mustangs are starting to hit the dealerships. And what's going to happen is shops are going to buy them, and they're going to try to draw the file, And then you're going to start seeing the holy shit effect that's happening with the EPA stuff and the anti-tampering restrictions you have on these cars. Dual processor computers. You can't. Now, I could be 100% wrong. And maybe Ford might have seen the sales of 24 Mustang and said, okay, the 25 Mustang has to be tunable. But then what? Now, who has access to these cars? Well, Whipple ProCharger is said to have a inroad with Molly. Yes, Molly, Manly, the rod manufacturer, has a calibrations division. And the rumor is that they are paying a big chunk of change to have Manly have access to the 24 Mustang calibration. That's the rumor. So, okay, ProCharger, Roush has it, and Whipple has it. And if you guys really pay attention, there has been a video that has come out of a Whipple F-150 making absolute butt cheeks for horsepower and literally burning up catalytic converters because of the knock sensor, because of the not going into enrichment quick enough, like just a dangerous tune. So that's one of those things you're going to have to live with. A lot of people that buy these 24 F-150s and Mustangs, you need to understand you don't have options. There is no tuning. Stop asking me if there's tuning. Stop asking me if we can somehow get around it. There is no tuning. You are stuck with people that don't tune for a living. You're stuck with those people. You're stuck with people that just push a product out and they relied on the aftermarket to make their product good. Now it is up to them to make it good, and they have a handful of guys that they custom tune with a 55-pound injector, stressing it out, urging E30 and booster pumps and saying, look, this is a good thing, when we all know in the tuning industry it is a dangerous thing, because all you need is one of those things to fail and there goes your motor. What's that smell? Sasso. So what platforms are people moving over? The BMW has become crazy popular. The BMW with the brothers especially has become, like, a lot of people are merging from the Dodge Charger Challenger to the BMW. You got a 2-door variant and a 4-door variant. The B58, S58, whatever the fuck is tunable now. And those things have run already in the 8s and 7s respectively based on certain platforms. They're pure transmission, stock motor, big turbo, auxiliary fuel system. You got a performer because there's tuning available. We'll talk about that, talk about a bit of everything that's going on out there. It's Peasant Chat, so whatever you guys want to talk about, I just get my 15 minutes out of the way, and we let you guys have the rest of the way. I rarely see an S650 Mustang here in the Orlando area, says EPA. Damn, Gen 2 was the bestseller. I told you guys, you need to start listening to me. Gen 2, if you want to go fast today and have a modern vehicle that can take a decent amount of power, the Gen 2 is it. The Gen 2 is it. The Gen 3 I don't love because in 2018 they had a bunch of issues. I had issues, transmission issues, I had fuel pump issues, and some of the cylinders weren't round on some of their motors. 19, the downshift rev matching is pretty freaking sweet. It is freaking sweet. And now that Tick Performance has a little module, in case you swap a T56 into it, you can retain downshift rev matching. It's a winner. DI is an issue if you want to make big power. Intermittent losing phasing of the intake cam is a problem. Just get a Gen 2. You have none of those issues. EPA says, yeah, man, same here in Houston and in West Texas. You never see 24 Mustangs out there. It's S550s all the time. Gen 2, Gen 3 rules the streets, and we're still not fucking with S650. Craig Wall says, we're taking some time to freshen everything up and update some small things on the chassis. Shooting to go racing in Georgia in February. Nice. You see more rental than S650 than privately owned S650 on the roads down here, says Nardi Mikado. Yeah, that's a great point. Joseph Roman. Let me look that up. F-150 sales year to year. So if there was a big spike in F-150s, I would understand. If there was like a huge spike after 2020, I would understand that point. Look at that. Where's the total? Holy shit. Guys, good job. I mean, again, this is why I think this chat's more of a hardcore chat now. It's not a peasant chat anymore. So we should change the name to Hardcore Chat. So 2018, let's say 2017 F-150 sold 896,000 units. 896,000. Then the next year, 2018 Gen 3, 909,000. Then back to 896. Then they dipped hardcore, 787, 726, 638, back up 726. And in 2024, the untunable is pretty low. Lowest since 2021. And it seems like every refresh, they have a bit of a dip. But look at Gen 3 kicking ass. Look at Gen 3 kicking ass between 909, 896, 787. 18, 19, 20, 18, 909, 19, 896, 20, 787. People were listening. Now you see why people went over to the F-150 game. 18, 19, 20. 21 and up is fine. I'm not a big fan of the belt-driven oil pump. You can keep that shit. Literally keep that shit. I want nothing to do with the 21, 22, 23 F-150 based on what I've seen. I don't want it in my life. If I was to build the Gen 3 truck, it'd be a 18, 19, 20. Oh, sorry, Gen 2. If I was going to build the F-150, 18, 19, 20 with a turbo 400 if we're going to go racing, right? We're not going to fuck with the 10R80. Why are we going to waste our time with the 10R80? If we're going to go racing, we're going to do some crazy suspension shit, FFRE motor, Reed Case 400 from M&M or RPM or whoever. Hell, I got one. I got a 400. So if I want a FAFO, I might just do that. But the problem is I want to street drive it. And street driving a turbo 400 is AIDS. I just can't understand people purchasing a $70,000 door course and saying it's perfect. Could have just gotten a GT350R for $70,000. That's the thing. I don't know if the Mustang sales included the GT350 sales. Let me see. GT350 sales year to year. It's got to be low, right? It's got to be like 10,000 per year. Wait a minute. What? Wait a minute. Fuck me. You sons of bitches. Just give me a list of total sales. Heritage Edition. You fucking homo. Heritage Edition. Who gives a fuck? Ford sold. Well, sales of the Ford Mustang Shelby had gradually decreased over the years. In 2019, they sold 72,489 GT350s. Wait a minute. So collectively, Ford sold in 2019 130,000 collective. That's the other thing. If they start segmenting it into that makes sense why the 2015 was such a high number. They only had a GT. There was no 2015 GT350. Okay, they came out I think in 2017 or maybe late 2016, not 100%, but 2015 it was just a GT. That's why I had over 100,000. But in 2019 they sold 72,000 units. Shit, no wonder those things. I see GT350s more than I see a door course. I'll tell you that much. And I would still love to get into one, but I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not paying $15,000 for a used Mustang. No, $50,000 is crazy. It's crazy. You could build a fucking 8-second Fox body with $50,000. That's what keeps Ford afloat. F-150 is always the best-selling truck. And the 650 SE in DeLand is a mom or an EcoBoost. Ford needs to go back to 2015 and care about quarter-mile times and models more than anything else. It's a Mustang, so it should. According to them, they separated it. Interesting. Ninja Man says you're right, because normally Ford sells way more base model non-V8 Mustangs, and I barely see any of the 24 Mustangs, and I did see 2 door horses. Yeah, fuck that belt-driven oil pump. I would not fuck with a belt-driven oil pump. People say, why not? Alex, hasn't been an issue. The truck's only been out 3 years. It's still within its warranty period. The Gen 2 Mustang has been out of its warranty period for 10 years. And I could pick up a Gen 2 Mustang, California Special, Gen 2 Mustang. Nice car. With a 6R. I don't know about a 6R. God, what would I do? You know, it's either build a 350 and you're starting off at a $50,000 car, or you get a Cali Special. Why a Cali Special, Alex? Because the likelihood of someone modifying a Cali Special is very low. It's usually a grandpa. California Specials are a little prettier. They got different, seats and different wheels and different grill. So that attracts the older guy. So that guy just wants to be seen in it. And I absolutely love the white Cali Specials. And if they have a ruby red Cali Special, now a manual Cali Special twin turbo, I'd probably still fuck with the 350. My next Ford will be an RCSB. So 6R F-150. Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, if you want to get into, good luck finding them. Good luck. Go ahead, guys. Do yourselves a favor. Go on, bring a trailer. Go on Car Gurus. Go on Cars.com. Go on Auto Trader. Go on eBay. Go on anything. Find a 2015 to 2017 6R80 Gen 2 F-150 that isn't modded to shit. Good luck. RCSB, not going to happen. Dude was on Facebook yesterday posting a 7-second 60 to 130 7-second Whipple equipped door course. What the hell is the world coming to? A Whipple equipped door course? My ESS pump gas car did that. Crazy. 350Rs in Canada are specifically 19 to 20 are over $100,000 Canadian. At the beginning of the pandemic, nice, I like it, you could get them for $80,000 to $90,000. I heard the 24 from 50 Whipple tune is trash. Somebody put out a video, and when you look at the data log, it's very interesting. And he makes the case that for 91 octane, the Whipple tune knocks because maybe it's commanding too much spark advance. And the biggest issue is the delay in fueling. There are settings in the calibration that allow you to go into enrichment a lot quicker. And it's pedal based, it's many things. So if you can make the truck go into enrichment quicker, the likelihood of it knocking is less. Because if you have a 0.85, like, I love people that tune and then they go 10.8 to 1 is 10.8 AFR is too high. I'm like, that's 0.77 lambda, 0.76 lambda. Ford from the factory with a 14 GT500 set the watt lambda at 0.77 to 0.75. Why did they do that? Why did Ford, an OEM company, set a 12 to 13 PSI pulleyed, high-ish compression, 13 to 14 GT500 to 0.77, 0.75 lambda at wide open throttle, which is about a high 10 air-fuel ratio. And with cap protection, it dips down into the low 0.7s, like 0.7, whatever. So on the Whipple tune of the video the guy released, the truck goes into enrichment very late. So what happens is 0.85, 0.89, 0.8, 0.85, 0.86, 0.8. It's slowly getting down to 0.79, 0.77. So the knock sensors are pulling back timing. So the knock sensors go, we're going to pull back timing because we're pissed off. As the truck goes into enrichment, the timing has not recovered, meaning the spark advance is still recovering because there's a rate of advance, there's a rate of retard. So the rate is not quick enough, so it doesn't slam more spark. So now you see low spark, and then enrichment goes into cap protection because it's like, inferred flange temp is, 14, 16, 1700. Let's just shove a bunch of fuel. What happens when you have low spark in a combustion event and a bunch of fuel? You're basically putting fuel to a fire. And what happens to the catalytic converter when that happens? It fucking cooks. So there's a delay in enrichment. There's a delay in the spark advance coming into play. And then there's a delay. Then there's a cap protection event. And it all happens like that in a dyno pull, and you cook the cats. And then, what's that smell? There was 100 T350s built in 2015. Special day, they did 50 Rs and 50 base. Gotcha. Kim McAllister, there were 137 T350s built in 2015. Thank you. Gen 2 is king. No DI bullshit to deal with, and you can throw whatever you want at it, no issue. And you have the robust 6R80, which, if I'm not mistaken, I trust a lot. You trust a lot more. Absolutely. Torque Means can't confirm. I bought a 14 Cali Special 6R from an old guy who had an all-service record and in dumb good shape. The last thing you want is a base model 5.0, Gen 2 or Gen 3, guaranteed to be dogged. They're all 80,000 miles plus. My buddy bought an Avalanche Gray 350 a few weeks ago. That color is so sexy. It's played out though. Gen 2 RCSB F-150 are hard to find. It took me 3 months to find my 6R RCSB 4x4. Currently searching for a 15 to 17 F-150 in Texas. Good morning, says Coyote Collector. Boss 302 or Whipple Gen 2 for a fun daily. Whipple Gen 2 for a fun daily. A Boss 302, in my opinion, should not be daily. I purchased a 17 GT over new models because of the information from this channel. Glad I listened. Freedom Rider says, isn't the BMW twice as expensive? No. A BMW like M2. BMW M2. It's a coupe. It has a S whatever the fuck. And let's look at a 2024 Mustang GT Premium, right? Let's you know. From 47, my asshole from 47, an EcoBoost. So let's price out a new Mustang models. I literally typed in Mustang and it showed me a fucking Mach-E. Who the fuck are you? You stupid son of a bitch. You really think I typed in Mustang and I meant a Mach-E? Stop it. So new price year 2024. Oh my God, I don't want to sign up. I don't want to do anything. Yeah, Ford, fucking Mustang. I typed it in Google. Fuck you. Mustang. The filters. Just AIDS. Do I have to go trim GT Premium? There we go. 18 GT Premiums. Okay. I wonder. This seems a little sus, these prices, but we'll see. This is Mullinax Ford, which is like a local joint. So as low as 53,000, and you can be as high as 65,000. I mean, fully decked out, the whole shit. You know, it can be as high as $53,000. A BMW M2, which is tunable today, I think it was from $64,000. Again, oh look, 23 two-door. Oh, this is used though. So you're going to spend $60,000 for a BMW that has a tunable motor today. You can be a downpipe E50 Hero, or you can spend about $5,000 less and have a heavier, slower, non-tunable car, and it's a coupe. Call me crazy. If I'm going to get a coupe today that I want to fuck around with, and I mean, is an M2... Okay, so which BMW, let's say you guys are all-knowing people out there. Which BMW, can I get an M2 motor? Can I get an M2 with the best motor that BMW has to offer with the B58, S58 variants? Yes or no? Like can I go to a dealership and go, I want an M2 for $62,000 and have it have the best motor that they ever came out with? In S58, B58. Again, I don't know the difference. So the M3, someone says the M3 has the better motor. I can't get like the M3 motor in the M2? That'd be stupid. Like, I want the best motor. Hey, BMW, I want the best motor you ever had. And I want it in the M2, in the smallest car. So according to Samat Milan, the S58 is the one. According to him. I don't know this stuff. So, in theory, why can't if I want to go fast today in a newer platform, I'm going to get the lightest one. Is it not the M2? The little guy? Yep. Coyote Collector. Yes, the M2 is S58. M240 is B58. Both are fast as fuck. M3 and M2 have the same motor. Foo Dan. They're both S58 if I'm not mistaken. Tay Speaks, tuning is awesome. Gapped the 340 DP tune last night with my bolt-on Gen 2. 6R80. Lund for the win. Yes, the M2 platform is, I believe, the Toyota Supra. There you go. So, at the end of the day, if you want a coupe that you can tune today and have the latest and greatest shit, it's probably going to be an M2, no? With an S58. Why the fuck would you get a Mustang? Oh my God, M2 competition, 90K. Fuck all that. M240 with B58 runs 9s with mods and the car's around $52,000. Again, I'm not in this world. because I don't want to be in this world. I have a limited amount of space. I'm going to stick to Coyote stuff, but I like dabbling in the other stuff because it compares to what's going on now. And if the new Mustang is not tunable, that is the biggest drawback of that vehicle, because the reason you buy a Mustang, not everyone wants a Whipple. Not everyone wants a Pro Charger. Not everyone wants a Roush. Let's be honest. Some people just want to do a E85 tune, headers, and the best transmission calibration possible. That's what makes it fast. Like every single time I sent a tune to a 10R80 guy or a 6R80 guy, they go, how much horsepower did this add? I go, your stock cold air intake, stock injector, pump gas car. That one, I already have a playlist of a 13 GT stock doing 60 to 130 and quarter mile and tuned. I didn't add 1 horsepower. The knock sensors were pissed off. It was still seeing only a certain amount of spark advance, but it gained like a half second, right? The Donnie, I think gained a half second or more just with a tune. It didn't make 1 extra horsepower. Not one. It's all transmission shifting, torque reduction, massaging, all that, and enhanced octane logic if you do happen to come across really sweet fuel. But it's not like a bully dog tuner on a diesel where you go, well, this is number 1 is plus 50, number 2 is plus 80, number 3 is plus 100, number 4 is plus 300. It just doesn't exist when it comes to your platform or your tuning expectations. Clutch Dump, it says, GR Supra has a B58 too. The Supra is the lightest. Got it. We lost Cuban Coyote to the B58 platform, right? He wasn't fucking around. Cuban Coyote was like, all right, fuck this Mustang shit, you know? First of all, he went all in, and this is what happens, especially the rabbit hole. The moment you start racing, guys, and you want to be the best, your drivability goes to shit. It's just how it's going to happen. So a lot of you are stuck in between that zone of, do I want to go and be the fastest guy every Friday, Saturday night at the races, the street races, or do I want a really fast car I can drive every day? And I guarantee there are people like maybe Craig Walls, right? Craig Walls probably makes good money, probably has a couple toys, and he probably sees his Mustang as like a Billy badass race car. But maybe I'm off on this. But wouldn't you love, once in a while, Craig Walls, to wake up on a Sunday morning, it's 68 degrees outside, there's a show about 5 miles away. Wouldn't you one day would want to be able to get in it after it's shined up, turn it on, drive it down to the show, hang out with your peeps, have a good time, then drive it back? Right? You can't do that because I think your car is M1 and it has no intercooler, right? It's just, isn't it just turbo right into the mouth of the bitch? So I think a lot of people need to understand that if you want to be the best, drivability goes away. And someone like Cuban Coyote, I was like, well, you want to get after it, dude? Turbo 400. Because he was a stick shift guy. And I'm like, unless you're going to have a T56 with all the nannies, I don't think you're going to be competitive racing against automatic cars that you're up against. It's a driver thing. It's a clutch thing. It's just too inconsistent. Get yourself a Turbo 400. He did, raced, won a couple of good races, and then he got to the point of just like, you know what? I'm good. I want something refined, nice, and fast. So a lot of people are willing to give up a little bit of ET to have the best of both worlds. And good old Craig Walls, absolutely. That's what I have my GT500. I know what you're saying, right? But it's different. You get in your GT500 and it's a GT500. But you want to get in that Fox. Hell, I want to get in that Fox. And be like, rrr, and just, even though it sucks, you want to get it to the car show. Not going to overheat. You have a big enough fuel cell. You have overdrive. So you're in that weird, not you specifically, Craig Walls, people that want to build a fast street car have to understand that it's a slippery slope and it becomes a race car that you can't fuck with all the time. The GT500 to me is at that edge. It's got a low compression illuminator right now. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to go 8s in it, but I got a high compression Coyote ready to go. Jake and I talked. I have I have a shelf full of Coyotes I can pick from if the low compression illuminator doesn't do its job. I'm going to try to throw a bunch of boost at it. Now, if I have to boost it in such a way that it becomes undrivable on the road, where I'm constantly changing pulleys, constantly changing shit, yeah, I might just sell the fucking thing and get in and fuck with the Corvette. Make it a 15 psi or maybe at tops a 18 psi car that is pretty refined and I can drive anywhere and everywhere. And then when I get after it, it does what it's supposed to do. Or you take your full out crazy drag car and cruise it around. The Fox body was undrivable. The Fox body stank. It's carbureted. It chopped all the way at 2,000 RPMs because of the cam it had. It wasn't fun, but it sure as hell got after it. So people like Cuban Coyote were like, bro, this thing, my B58 or whatever, my BMW, idles great, looks beautiful, goes nines. I'm good. I don't have to be the fastest. I have the best of both worlds. I get it. I'm waiting for my BMW lifestyle. So basically, they released the Mustang with no purpose for the regular hot rodder, i.e. fully accessible to the tuning to make it their own. Exactly. And that hurt it. It hurt it. It hurts it. Ford, I don't understand why you don't understand that who really drives Mustang sales? It's the tuning. It's the aftermarket. It's the parts suppliers. The Mustang is the base. You can't build a Mustang badass enough to satisfy the horsepower needs of the public. If the GTD was mass produced and you made 40,000 GTDs at $150,000, which is not going to happen, exhaust is going to get modified right away. Pulley is going to get put on it. Let's say it's tunable. Do you think Jim Farley goes, oh man, nobody's ever going to modify this. It's perfect right from the showroom floor. Shows up to the guy's house. Let's put a fucking exhaust in it. Let's put a pulley on it. Let's put race gas in it. Bigger injector, E85, more boost. And then Jim Farley's going to be like, what are you doing? What do you mean whatever? That's what we do. We want to go faster. We're not satisfied with what you give us. Look at the GT500. You guys thought it was the best thing since sliced bread. And all of a sudden, porting, E85, cat deletes, tuning, aftermarket TCMs. Yeah, it's starting to make its way. Crazy stuff. I guess I'm getting old, says EPA. But I don't even want to drive an FFE car and smell like E85 afterwards anymore. I agree. I installed catless cook headers in my 10R S650 and picked up almost nothing in the draggy 60 to 130. Really? Boy, that's crazy. We recently purchased an X3, and I understand why people like the BMW platform, even though it's not a sedan or coupe. What's this mean? I don't get it. Is this from the AOL days, Craig Walls? I don't know what's happening. But what I never understood was people making their only car a race car. Bro, it's a sickness, man. It's a sickness. We're retarded. We're fucking retarded. We're like, well, I got a GT. It's my only car. Now it's a race car. Now it's a gutted. Remember when you first got your GT? Push button start, drive it around, clutch. Let me be the clutch. And it starts at the clutch spring. This clutch feels like shit. This helper spring is stupid. Boom, you take it out. And you're like, okay, that's better. Then you get a shifter. And your Barton Hybrid 3 or MGW, you put it in. Oh, cool. Yeah. Oh, you know what? It locks me out at like 7,500 RPMs. Get a clutch, RST. So you get an RST, clutch, and then a MGW shifter. And you're like, all right, let me get a drive shaft. Get a drive shaft. Okay, let me get a tune. And here we fucking go. You are now addicted. And you're like, tune, cold air, injectors, E85, manifold, headers. Maybe you go through 3 or 4 manifolds and 3 or 4 cold air intakes. You blow up the transmission. You buy a T56. Right? And now your car is loud, notchy, tons of NVH. And then you go boost. Then you go fuel system. And then you go, fuck. This thing's a race car now. It's a sickness. Streetcar builds. What's it say here? Streetcar builds for the win. Are you eyeballing the red fox body that you want to buy if it became available? Are you eyeballing that red fox body you want to buy if it comes available? Dude, I don't know what you're talking about. Love you. At least a half second less. Theo support. Thank you, Kenneth Will. I'll sacrifice some power for drivability. Morning, folks. Off to family Christmas. Drop in a like and I'll catch replay later. Craig Wall says, to Bryson Whip. I got a 2011 6RD swap built motor Gen 3R. Rare black with grabber blue stripes. That is rare. Yes, they come with the S58, not all-wheel drive. Got to get that pop bang tune, BMW, for everyone else to hear too. Yeah, that's annoying. E85 smells better than 93 and better for the environment. Not necessarily. I think I should have seen this coming when Ford decided to go IRS with the S550. Say what you want about live axle, but it has its place amongst the main buyers of these hot rodders. Yes, the reason I say if you're going to build a drag car, you got to go with Gen 1 is because of the rear end. You can go as quick as a 920/30 with the stock rear diff. Stock. Then once you start making some big boy torque and big boy power and the car's heavy, you can start breaking shit. So what do? 33 spline axles and a spool, and you weld the torque tube. Maybe brace it with like a swar bar or something similar. And that's a 850 capable rear end. Stupid. If Ford was serious, they would produce an all-wheel drive Coyote Mustang that is tunable. That car would take over. I don't know about that. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know that if Ford made an all-wheel drive Mustang right now, that it wouldn't cost $70,000. It would probably cost $70,000 fucking dollars. So what are you going to do then? Ford needs to make their fucking money. Ford already built an all-wheel drive something. It's called an F-150. Honestly, Ford, don't even bother. Don't even bother. Just make a really light F-150. Like work trucks. Okay, if you would have told me that in 2018, a work truck is the most desirable racing platform for street guys there was, I would have called you a fucking liar. I would have said, no, like a drag pack Mustang or this and this and that. No, RCSBs. The only RCSB I would buy is Jake's. Jake would never sell it though. Jake's not even looking to race it. Jake's not even interested in going past 11 PSI, which blows my fucking mind. I'll be honest with you. When I look at Jake's truck, I go, why aren't you getting after it? He goes, why? I go, why'd you build it this way? Why don't you just leave it NA? He goes, yeah, just to have a turbo. I'm like, that's a hell of a lot of work just to have a turbo. You know, fuel system, everything. Now it's got a built 10R. It's stock motor still. And I'm like, boy, Jake. But, you know, that's what he wants. If I'm buying an F-150, it's going to have a turbo 400 in it. I'm not touching a fucking 10R80 ever again. I turned my daily into a race car after market K-member, drive shaft, all suspension, full bolt on E85. But I accepted, I ruined it. I think it would be awesome if Ford tried to turbo shit on the Coyote, but that will remain a dream. EPA says, and then we'll sell it for a loss and start all over again. And I hate to say this word because it does sound stupid, it's the journey. Right now, I'm having so much fun, in quotation marks, learning. I learned. You guys want to hear something that's going to fucking blow your mind that made me verify a lot of the thoughts I had about the CR1? Jake, you could tell, was a little sus at my desire to Coyote swap the ZR1. Don't get me wrong. In his mind, he said, cool in theory, but man, Alex, why are you doing this, man? Jesus, Alex, why are you going all the way with this? And I'm sure a lot of you guys are the same way. Why don't you just shove an LS3 in it and supercharge it? It fits. You could dry sump it, da-da-da-da-da. I don't want to fuck a Chevy shit. You think I'm going to buy an LS3? Why don't you just buy an LS? Get the fuck out of here. So, Jake, I'm sure, was on the fence about it because he'll help me. He'll let me do whatever. But he was on the fence about it. So I needed his help measuring for the bell housing width, right? So he's like, let's measure engine to back of the clutch, a face on the torque tube to the input shaft, and then we'll do some math, and we'll see how much you need for a bell housing width. Okay, so we do that. And he goes, do you have the bell housing here? I go, yeah, I do have the bell housing here. He goes, he's measuring, and he gives me this look. He goes, it's the same distance. I go, what do you mean? He goes, it's exactly what we need. I go, yes. I looked at it and I'm like, my eyeballs tell me this bitch is going to fit. And he's like, I think it's going to fit. So then he looks at the oil pan and he goes, any competent welder can modify the oil pan. So have the oil pan notched here, 45 degree here. It should fit from the bottom. And Jake said, I'm going to take the bell housing because I know I could take this bell housing and put a Ford modular motor bolt pattern in the front. Cut the front off flat, put a Ford modular bolt pattern on it, make sure the distance is right, and I guarantee this will work because it already fits on the torque tube. So that part allowed us to learn a lot. And then he started looking at the engine bay and he's like, all you need is a brake booster that's a little narrower because we need to move the engine an inch this way. I go, okay, I'll work on that. Even if I have to get an electric fucking booster, I don't give a fuck what I need to do. A Coyote is going in this engine. So he is genuinely excited. He went, oh my God, I get it. So that journey, that figuring things out, I think it's what we're addicted to, not necessarily the finished product. It's like marrying someone, right? What's the best part about like banging a chick? Is the first date, the first time you kiss her, the first time you bang her, the first time you put in her booty, and then you're kind of done, right? Then you're like, I guess I gotta have a kid with this bitch. I guess I gotta marry her. But in reality, if we treated them like cars, after you rag them out, you sell it. And you move on to the next one and you do it all over again. Same thing. I tried to sprinkle my mods over multiple vehicles to prevent going full race car, but to be honest, I've been trying to get into a 75 and older truck that I can drive every day. Got carried away on my S197 and kind of hate it now. Been looking at Foxes and retro build and just put around town. Simpler is always more fun. Killshot Racing, you want to hate a project? Go ahead and get yourself a Fox body. After you went that Fox body private car show, I thought you said you may have a lead on a badass red 4i. Oh yeah, that guy wants like 35, 40. I ain't fucking with that's it. I seen that Dude in Blue advised Donor Media on the build for the car. They spent $75,000 on a Gen 2 and barely made it into the 10s. Alex, you laid out the build for $50,000. The Dude in Blue, guys, you need to understand. Just because somebody is a car influencer doesn't mean he knows what he's talking about. I work in this space. Every day I work in this space. A lot of these influencers get their information from the people that work in this space. And when they don't get the information from the proper people that work in this space, they all of a sudden think they're experts. And someone like a Donut Media goes, who do we advise? Who do we ask for advice on when it comes to Mustangs? And then they Google Mustang influencers. An influencer does not know anything about cars. An influencer is told what to say. He reads the brochure, says it in an entertaining fashion, and he probably has better editing skills than he has knowledge. So please, Donut Media. I love these Coyote versus things. I love that. How to build a Coyote. And I go, is Lund involved? No. Is FFRE involved? No. Is Power by the Hour involved? No. Then I don't even want to fucking listen to it. No offense. 01 Coyote swap definitely going to hurt some LS boy feelings, making it more capable. You have a calibrated ichrometer. Yeah, when I looked at that bell housing, I'm like, this is why, Chuck. Once the input shaft went into the Coyote and I saw the distance between the edge of the motor and the back of the bell and the back of the torque tube, I'm like, this is a fucking Coyote with bell housing. And sure enough, it is. Ollie Duck Garage says, nah, a good lady keeps you on your toes. Get the fuck out of here. If you need a good lady to keep you on your toes, get your fucking game up. Get your game up. Make sure you can do all your shit on your own. So all you need is her company. If you're out there like relying on her to cook, and then when she leaves your ass, you're in a 1-1 paying for child support, get the fuck out of here. Get your shit right. Then get yourself a lady. Y'all fucking out there dating girls so they can be your mommy. Get the fuck out of here. Go look at the dating channel. I'll tell you about that shit there. There's no point for Ford to sell an all-wheel drive Mustang. For the same price, you can get a BMW, and the Mustang is still going to be untunable like the rear-wheel drive model. Alex, a good woman is one you can share. The best advice is from who have actually done it. I had 86 4i for some reason. I didn't mind wrenching on it. It was kind of like an oversized Lego to me. Oh yeah, go ahead and do a heater core on one of those things, and then talk to me about Legos. But Alex, you're an influencer. I am no influencer. I have a Fox body to keep me busy. A lot of the larger automotive influencers live and breathe the fast and furious. They can't be trusted. Okay, can someone give me the cliff notes as to what Donut Media did? Because I don't pay attention to them motherfuckers. They're not car guys. They're brochure readers. They're not experts on anything. I'm not an expert on anything. I just work in this space and I know a lot. But I would never say, oh, I'm a preeminent expert. No. So if you wanted to go eights, you put a Whipple on that fucking thing. Whipple, fucking, I don't know, 3.0 upper, 20% lower, right? 6R80, axles, and hope that trans and engine lives enough to run an 8-second pass. It might do it. If you really want to do a lot more labor, then you do twin turbo stuff. You do twin turbo stuff, and then you get after it 15 PSI. You should go 8s in a Gen 2 Coyote. If someone told me they did nitrous, I was like, why the fuck did you do nitrous? Nitrous. And what was their budget? That's the thing. I have limited capital in terms of, like, I got projects and I'd love to sell them and just constantly make project after project. But sometimes, the budget matters. So if you were to give me $20,000 and an already vetted vehicle, meaning a S197 and a GT from a 2015, both 6R80 cars, I can get further probably with, $20,000. If I don't mind blowing up the motor on the S197, I could probably go quicker with the S197. Less bullshit, less shit you got to buy. You don't got to fuck with your rear end except the control arms. Really. So I'm blown away that they went to the dude in blue out of all people. And this is not a dig. I think they should have gone to Justin Dugan at American Muscle. This is not a dig. That guy has been so on the money. That guy has been so, the credibility is high. And he represents a company that generally sells louvers and Raxium lights. But when he talks about cars, tuning, what it should run, what it should do, the guy is on the money. So why wouldn't they work with a massive parts house, right? Donut Media, like, you missed an opportunity there. You could have been like, hey, American Muscle, we're Donut Media. We have a 2015 Mustang, and we're going to do a mod-to-mod, blah, 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 blah. Can you guide us? Can you help us? And then you could have done a sell the parts, put the listing. Justin Dugan, who is very good, he could have advised you very well, way better than a dude in blue. No offense. No offense, dude in blue. You don't know shit about Mustangs when it comes to making them fast. I'm sorry. You go by what you hear, not by what you do. Crazy stuff. They spent $17,000 on carbon fiber fenders and hood. Why would you touch the body at all? No, stop it. Come on, stop it. They definitely got poor version right. Shit had only rears. They built 2 Gen 2s. One had a $10,000 budget. The other one had an unlimited budget. Car was tin can gutted with nitrous. Oh my God. Nitrous. Who the fuck told you that's a good idea? Wait a minute. Who tuned it? Wait, who tuned it? I don't know. I think they ran a 250 shot with no tune. Oh, come on. They ran a 250 shot with no tune? Donut Media, are you trying to troll people? Donut Media, are you trying to become like the butt of a joke on the internet? Is that the goal? Because if that's the goal, you're doing really good with if you threw a 250 shot with no tune. I might have to watch that fucking whole thing. No suspension mods either. Yeah, that's real smart. Most of the donut car are car guys. The only enthusiast car guys left earlier this year. So I shouldn't have a Stang mode spec my build resonator deleter. Do I still have resonator deleter? Yeah, I do.
We have an MBRP resonator deleter.
The way he says deleter at the end triggers me.
We have an MBRP resonator deleter.
You could imagine him with a fucking mimosa saying that.
We have an MDRP resonator deleter.
Killshot Racing says, oh yeah, fuck that. Been there, done that. Forgot about that till now. Thank you for the reminder. I'll enjoy the SO97. Budget car used nitrous on a factory tune. What did it run? I think it was a local tuner in California. Local tuner in California? There's only one that I know that's halfway decent. Only one. The dude in blue drives other people's cars for a living. It's still Bama tuned from when I bought it. Taking my money to Lund. Get the stage caliber to done. Troy Jetson says. That dude in blue may be fastest cars like 10.7 maybe. That $17,000 in carbon would pay for body kit. Why did they put carbon in anything? Why are you guys thinking that a carbon body anything is a mod for speed? It's lighter. Shut up. Shut the fuck up with your carbon. Stock body panels. Spend the money on horsepower. Don't spend the money. The money per gain, meaning the light, there is no more expensive modification on a Mustang than lightweight parts. So what you get for it is not a good return on investment. If you spend $17,000, whatever you spent on it, just add horsepower. Just add horsepower. Forget making it light. It's already heavy. Just add horsepower. Oh my God. The unlimited car was a Whipple car, barely making 650 wheel, but I think they tried to keep it race close and not destroy the budget car. 11.2. This is embarrassing. 11.2. Because Millennial and Gen Z car enthusiasts, 11.2 is sickening. Guys, my Gen 1 is going 11.8. No, did it go 11.7? I forget. I think it's 11.8. Okay, people want nitrous builds for drag racing. Get a big block or a small block. Exactly. Who's the good tuner you know in Cali? Alex? No one South Cali. I didn't say good. See, that's the difference between you and me. I did not say good. I said halfway decent. The cars got dynoed at a local dyno. A guy I know just turned up the booze. Surprised they didn't have a rev, battle, or flame tune. The carbon fenders were actually heavier than the stock ones. The blower car only ran a 10.7. Drugs, money, guy here sells drugs and put carbon fiber shit on his Gen 3 is a clown though. What is happening? Clown festivities didn't even break into the 6s in the 8th. Yeah, I mean, that's the problem. And the problem is this. How many people watch Donut Media? How many subscribers do they have? Okay, this is the problem with the YouTube's car space. The YouTube car space is full of high sub channels that don't know a goddamn thing. Donut Media. So
Today, I'm
shut the fuck up. 8.9 million subscribers. So 8.9 million subscribers and over 2 or 3 million viewers are under the impression that carbon fiber or tin can gutting is what you should do. You dumb sons of bitches should have done nothing but add horsepower. Nothing. Buy mods that prove you make horsepower with those mods. But no, it's all about who can we work with? So then they work with like this manufacturer. Basically, what another person did that got in trouble for by asking people to provide parts under the auspice of it being on the channel, and it ends up at your friend's car. It's stupid shit. Stupid shit. It reminds you of the LS Coyote Shootout. The LS Coyote Shootout was by far, I think that was the beginning of me trying to, I don't want to say educate. I'm no expert, but like make people realize that this is ridiculous. Boss intake, K&N stock diameter cold air, comp cam stage 3 NA cams, locked, and a 10-to-1 compression Coyote. What the fuck did you do? You would have been better off just buying a Gen 2 Mustang motor and comp cams, CJ, PMAS CJ, E85. What the fuck were you doing? They put rods and pistons in an F-150. Why? Why are you touching the rods and pistons? On a Coyote, that's the great thing. People like Hot Rod Magazine and all these other places, they don't like it. Why? Because you can't tear it apart and make a big difference in horsepower. Oh, you can't take it. No, there's no reason to take it apart. You buy it from Ford, Gen 3 bottom end, Gen 2 heads. Hell, you want to really get saucy? You buy a Gen 3 bottom end. You get GT 350 cylinder heads, GT 350 spec cams with Gen 2 phasing, CJ, TJ, or a CJ65, or Whipple 132. PMAS code there. There's your NA combo. Probably makes 530. Oh, I'm sorry. Flywheel horsepower? Probably closer to 600. Flywheel. Fuck out of here. How come you don't do that, Alex? Because I don't care. NA shit. The car community is full of cloud chasers that saw other people become cool from their stuff and want to just be cool because of that. It's all about bullshitting. I wish I could make a channel that was faceless. I don't want to be forward facing. I just want to make money. I don't give a fuck about. But the problem is the only way I can make money in this space is by showing my face. Hey yo. Oh yeah, that'll be interesting, Nardi Mercado. That'll be very interesting. We'll see if that name survives. How many cars have been paired to the Engage? No idea. There are millions, 5 mil. What about yellow? Shut the fuck up. NPC wants Diabetes Media. I stopped watching Donut once they copyrighted you. Yes. And I only watch them for brain rot entertainment. At the end, they did a price break. At the end, they did a price breakdown with their times. I can't even reference it. I'll reference it on another video or something, or maybe another day, because if I even open their fucking page, they copyright my shit. Most of those probably kids are now terribly misinformed. I think that lots of shit ton of subs too. Since the company started dissolving, they probably had more than that. I like how idiots delete their sway bars for weight reduction, and then their cars drive like shit. Smasher Devour, I don't think it's gonna age well. Do you want to keep your front sway bar on a car that you drag race? Do you want to keep your front sway bar on a car that you drag race? Yes or no? And if yes, tell me why. My poor ass had a Gen 3 bottom end, but Gen 1 heads and cams. Oh my God, I forgot those idiots that put boss intake on that motor. Looks like you did get this success. Sam and JD Swag. I'm in Southern California and all the tuners are trash. It's Lund or go home. The blower car didn't hit sixes and the nicest car was stuck in the mid sevens. So you're saying in the 8th mile, obviously, I have no sway bar. It drives fine. Exactly. Like, none of my cars have had sway bars. I'm not out there Schleckenbergling it. I'm not at the Nürburgring turning hard. If you have skinnies in the front, your car drives like shit. If you have drag radials in the back, it drives like shit. So removing the sway bar is like nothing. Taking a sway bar for weight transfer, exactly. It's for weight transfer. It's not for weight reduction. It's for weight transfer. It's to get the nose up. And then when you're really fast, you don't want the nose up. It's crazy how that works, right? It's crazy how up until like maybe high 8s, mid 8s, you want the nose up a little bit. And then once you start going faster, you don't want the nose up. Maybe initially, and then you have to bury the nose by having extension on the rear. Deleted my front sway bar. Let's just say it's not needed for drag racing. Correct. I'll be honest. I liked drifting before it was popular, but then I saw it getting bad popularity and decided it was separate from that group. No sway bar. Fine, says John Bailey. I drove my Gen 1 that made 475 NA on Pump 93 with no sway bar for 4 years. No issues. Alex just make a new channel wearing a ski mask and one of the voice changers and talk that shit. No, because it still comes back to you. No, what I mean is this. There are faceless channels, not literally faceless. What I'm saying is faceless channels, meaning voiceover stuff like 337 Speed and those alike. But this channel, unfortunately, has to have my face in the front because I'm talking to you guys. And that's okay. I don't mind that. But my preference would be to be like anonymous and not really talk to anybody because I hate people. I'm antisocial. I don't want to go outside, because you guys are mostly retarded. But, this channel needs this pretty face dropping some knowledge. Phil Fast says, yes, in the 8th mile. Both cars were turning 11s in the quarter for the race. You can hear the car, nitrous car breaking up with a 250 shot. Also, whoever tunes it sucks. The 6R80 would stop shifting. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to see it. I realized quickly how bland going sideways becomes, especially when it's overhyped. I keep my sway bars because my cars see more street time than drag time. EPA. It only went 10 once, I think. RGGT says, delete your front sway bar and you will get that death wobble from electric steering. Literally has never happened. Literally has never happened. What you really want is to blaze the tires off the launch. At least that's what Dominic Toretto taught me. Nothing wrong with hitting the 3-wheel motion while turning. The 6R stopped shifting, Phil Fez. Damn, I bet they were shifting the 10-speed. They were shilling the 10-speed after that. But Alex, I thought we were boys. I'll meet with people and stuff, but like in a limited capacity. Like Rami Zaidan the other day, he's like, Alex, come down to Puerto Rico. Come down to Puerto Rico so I can get my hand macheteed off? That doesn't happen here. Okay, gotcha. Bullshit. Fuck that. I'm staying here. So the person wanting an RCSB, I have one you can buy. It's stock, though. Cue the beeping smoke detector. Beep. Good morning. Says, El Verga Larga Dos. Okay. Killshot Ray says, if you got death wobble on your Mustang, you got something wore out suspension, my guy. You're right. The sway bar? Wait a minute. The sway bar has nothing to do with this. That's tie rods and other bullshit. The sway bar is more this. Not this. Whatever. Sway bar has zero to do with the steering pressure. Exactly. The sway bar is a this thing, not a this thing. What? I don't know what I'm talking about. Get a carbon one. Hello, London. Bro, I can't wait till I have permission to talk about that stuff because it's so good. Not what's happened so far. It's what's gonna happen. That's the one that's gonna be great. And once I get the green light, I'll give you the whole rundown. Went to take my sway bar off and it was already done. S197 Live. Damn, Alex don't even want to go back to visit the homeland. The homeland. You mean Stoughton, Massachusetts? They put a 6R stager on the blower car. Why? And use the trans brake. Why not foot brake it? And the budget car, they made their own trans brake by hacking up some wiring on the factory 6R harness. Phil Fez, there is a 3 relay version. There's a 3 relay trans brake picture that you can actually make. You have to buy your own relays and stuff. But the 6R stager, let me see, 3 relay trans brake Lund. I think we provided to customers images. Oh, I guess that's not out. Oh yeah, there it is. This is I think the 3 relay trans brake. Oh, I like how they put it on Mustang 6G. And it has the Lund Racing watermark all over it. So yeah, if you look up Lund Racing 3 relay and just click images, you'll get something like this. And this is basically our instructions that we send you of how to wire up the 3 relay trans brake. And then in the tune, you have to shut out these codes. And guess what, guys? Some of you don't have access to those codes. And if you don't have access to those codes, it's going to be a problem. So right here, it tells you how to do everything. Oh, this is first gear for 10R80. This is 10R80 stuff. But yeah, we have 6R80 instructions and 10R80 instructions because this is literally something Junior made to give people proper direction on what wire to do what. If anyone needs a 6R80 with a PBH rebuild kit, hit me up. I removed the smart sway bar and no wobble. 17-year-old me junked the sway bar in Fox and never had an issue driving like an asshole. Come down to Puerto Rico. He really told you that? Yeah, you go, come down to Puerto Rico and spend some time. I'm like, bro, I am antisocial. You want me to get on a plane and go to a third world country? It's third world. Sorry. To hang out for Christmas? Come on, man. Shit. Young guys are babies trying to drive a... Okay, not likely. Alex has a wig that lets him go incognito. The 01 about to get LS9 deleter. I mean, it's basic English comprehension. Literally says it in the name. Sway bar. The 6R stager is a 3 relay with a bump functionality. You still have to cut up the factory harness unless I'm doing the install. Alex, just wear your Winter Soldier outfit. Why would a major channel like Donut Media not hit up Lund before building a Coyote? Just blows my mind. I think this is why. Once you get to a certain... notoriety when it comes to online stuff, you get an ego and your ego is huge and people start, you can't say no to me. I got 8 million subscribers. Yeah, I don't give a fuck how many subscribers you got, bro. You're wrong. And I don't think Donut Media or the people at Donut Donut don't want to hear these following words. You're doing it wrong. No, we're not going to do that. And believe it or not, at a micro level, shops and customers that are a little bougie, when we say, no, we don't think that's a good mod. No, we don't want to tune that injector. No, that MAV housing is stupid. No, shop that built a $130,000 Bronco, that MAV placement is shit. They hate hearing that because they're like, we're us. It's the ego. And we don't do it because we don't like what you do. Well, we don't like what you do, but we have seen what works and what doesn't at every level. At every level. So when people argue with you, you're arguing with a guy or a company that has seen everything ever done in history to a Coyote with the stock computer. So listen to us. The moment Donut Media probably reached out, was like, hey, are you willing to work with us? We're looking to buy carbon fiber. Don't buy anything carbon fiber. But we got this company we want to promote. Don't buy anything carbon fiber. Take that $10,000 and put it in fuel system and boost. Literally. Fuel system, boost, and axles. That bitch is going to get after it. If you don't run 9s with boost, E85, and a set of axles, I don't know what the fuck you're doing wrong. Donut High Lows has me face palming a few times, like how they got OPGs for their NA car. Why did they open up the motor? Oh my God. They opened up the motor for NA. You stupid sons of bitches. I knew those guys doing high-low knew nothing when they picked a 3.0 Whipple to the 8th mile race on a stock 6R Trans. No. That's a good combo. But it needed to have 355s. It needed to have 20 pounds of boost. Come on. Could have been a 550 car. I didn't know Peasant Chat was in the AM. I would have been here earlier. It's been in the AM since 5 years. Actually, I sprinkle it, but 90% is in the AM. All they do is look up general info and setups from watching 1320 video. Come down to Puerto Rico and have some mofongo coquito for Christmas, bro. Right. Hey, Alex, come down and have 9,800 calories for breakfast. I'm good. Hi, car. Quit shifting because the exhaust melted onto one of the wires from the bump box install. Sublime GT500 says, Alex, do you have any knowledge on the 16 to 17 Mercedes-Benz? Nope, nothing at all. I saw a donut video where they were racing their daily drivers. They all drove shit like Altimas. They are not car people. Their car didn't run much faster with all the carbon fiber crap on it. Tom Hinchcliffe tried to tell y'all. Tom? Who's that? I'm sorry. Who's that? Who's Tom Hinchcliffe? I'm sorry. Who is he? Property law. I don't know. It says he's a lawyer. Copyright, registered designs, designer. I don't know. I don't know who that is. I don't know. Maybe he's just being funny, but I literally don't know who the fuck that is. I'm like, who the fuck is that? Who's that? They put bump boxes in the supercharged car and nitrous car. Why did y'all put a bump box in a... Man, get the fuck out of here. Are you kidding me? They put a bump box on a supercharged car. Gotta love it. Remember when Pastrana called Ken Block or what Hoonigan was doing piddly? What do you mean, Joe Swish? Donut Media probably had their info from Mustang 6E in a certain parts house. They would have been better off taking a TSP Coyote expert just after his like $12,000 Cracker Barrel breakfast. Well, sorry, man. I had fruit. Yeah, after 6 pancakes with whipped cream and strawberries. Well, that's the fruit. The pancakes and the syrup was 12,000 calories. And the 3 coffees with sugar. And the bacon. And the eggs. Hey, man, what's going on here? This is a Reaper. And I'm here at Texas Speed. And I'm going to talk to the Coyote expert. Hey, how you doing, man? What's up? All right, so why do these things just like boost? Like, tell me why. And, Reaper actually was, like, very clear. Tell me, why do these things like boost? Like, tell me about it. And he goes, yeah, 4 cams? Okay, what about revs? What about engine cycles? What about Hemi cylinder head design? What about 4 cams per cylinder? 4 valves per cylinder? What about twin independent variable cam timing? Oh, I'm sorry, a sausage from Cracker Barrel's coming back up. Bro, get the fuck out of here. 9,800 calorie breakfast. Dr. Now wants you to know the location. Mofongo smacks, though. No, it doesn't. Mofongo's gross. Mofongo is gross. There's a reason Puerto Ricans have a diabetes problem. Mofongo. Mofongo. These motherfuckers. Mofongo. Look at this fucking mass of shit. Look at this. This is beat up fucking plantains with shit. Look at this. Diarrhea. Esto es diarrhea. Diarrhea. Yeah. In the morning. Could you imagine eating that in the morning? Oh my God. Oh yeah. Mira, ¿por qué me peta el culo? How many times do you fart and it smells like absolute death after you eat this shit? There's a reason Puerto Ricans have a health problem. Because they eat this shit. All y'all is eat shit. Mofongo, coquito. Everything is super sweet. Mountains of rice. Fuck out of here. Last live before Christmas. Wish all the Army veterans. No, I have a live. What are you talking about? I got a live coming up on Monday, tomorrow. I literally have a live coming up tomorrow because Christmas is Wednesday. And I'm not doing a live on Christmas Eve because that's like super sad. But I could because I'm not going to do shit. It's just going to be me and Tony. Why did they just go Stanchot for advice? It does look the same coming out as well, to be fair. Diabetes, is that like flan? They probably would have had a better chance rebuilding an LS. Habichuela dulce, gross. That looks nasty. I'm glad I'm Italian. Exactly. It looks the same on the plate as it does in the toilet. High blood sugar levels are through the roof. High cholesterol, high blood sugars. I smell heart attack or stroke. ¿Por qué se me mira? ¿Por qué tiene diabetes? Yo no sé por qué tú tienes diabetes. Mofongo, arroz. You fry everything. Alcapurria. I mean, what do you call it? Albóndiga. All this, not albóndiga, papa rellena. All this bullshit. Like, rice can't be white. Rice has to be like shiny and yellow with a bunch of bullshit in it. 2 scoops of that rice. 2 cups of yellow rice with bullshit, salt, sazon, and sausages and stuff is probably 2,000 calories. That's my daily allotment. Fuck out of here. That's why porta parties on the construction sites are so nasty. Look at morcilla, right? Morcilla. ¿Por qué estamos gordos en Puerto Rico? Porque comen mierda. Oh my God, you guys eat mojones, straight up. Ustedes comen mojones. Mira pa' allá. Could you imagine going to a Puerto Rican guy's house and he goes, hey, here's some of this shit. Literally. Oh my God, me va a cagar. Eso sabe tan bueno. Sabe tan bueno. Pa' allá con pancito. Con un pancito. Mira esa mierda, te vas a cagar, bro. Tapete el culo. Yeah, get the fuck out of here, bro. You guys are nasty. That's why you don't date Puerto Rican chicks. They smell like that. They smell like blood sausage. Bro. And you know what they down it with? Café con leche. Café con leche. Mira, cabrón. You want a shit. Coffee with a bunch of milk that they froth and they sugar. Oh yeah. That's why your whole family's fat. It's Christmas time. Okay? Are you Puerto Rican? It's Christmas time, right? Next time you go to your next Christmas party that's coming up on the 24th, y'all could cry at midnight or New Year's. Look around. Just go like this. How many of y'all fat motherfuckers are in there? And then see what's on the table being served. And tell me why I don't fuck with y'all. Yeah, coffee and gelato. Theo, my girlfriend of 11 years passed away a month ago. Oh, way to bring down the chat. Way to be a fucking buzzkill. Fuck. Anyway, Bullhead 360. Fuck. What a buzzkill you are. My girlfriend of 11 years passed away a month ago. I want to say thank you for being one of the few things in life that makes me laugh. I appreciate what you said to Kenneth. What did I say to Kenneth? My condolences for your girlfriend passing, but goddamn, way to bring the chat down. I love you though. Yeah, I've never experienced that, to be honest with you. I can imagine it's way worse than a breakup. Because a breakup, they're still around. Right? You're like, are you still around, bitch? You know? Yeah. So I don't know if it's, but yeah, look, my condolences. I hope that this show makes you laugh a little bit in tough times. That's all I want to do. Literally, all I want to do is go on and make you forget about what's happening in the world out there, or at least inform you a little bit and make you laugh. That's all. That's my goal. I don't give a fuck about anything else. El arroz con leche. Arroz con leche. Guys, someone said girlfriend of 11 years. Why didn't you marry her, bro? I know. Relax. We don't want to arroz con leche. Puerto Ricans are so fucking gross. They put rice and mix it with milk and cinnamon. Arroz con leche. Diarrhea 101. ¿Qué sabe tan bueno? Ay, eso sabe tan bueno. Arroz con leche. La diarrea. El culo te apesta. El culo te apesta. Mira para allá. You wonder why Puerto Ricans are fat. You wonder why Puerto Ricans have high diabetes, high cholesterol, high everything. Everything you cook look like shit. Stop it. Stop it. I'd rather eat Italian food. Give me a chicken parm. Give me like antipasto. Well, that's a salad. No thank you. I'm good. Give me that Italian shit. Literally shit on a stick. Todo chorro molido. Lots of Hispanics fry their food. Blood sausage is a good name for a grudge car. Might as well eat sausage and a bucket of butter. Why don't you just suck the cow's asshole? It's probably healthier. Ya me mareo con esta cosa. Los intestinos ya lloran por su vida. Goal accomplished. Rice soggy treats. That looks like nut in a cup. Will there be a show Christmas Eve? No, I'm probably going to do a show. That's pretty sad, isn't it, to do a show? Who's going to be watching me Christmas Eve? Okay. Actually, that's a good thing to talk about, guys. Let's talk about it for the last 5 minutes. Should I do it on Christmas Eve or should I do it Monday? Because Christmas Eve, a lot of people are inside partying, together. So will I be on the TV while the whole family is watching? I don't know. We'll think about it. I ain't doing nothing. Too early for body trunk jokes. Just kidding. Gringos call that rice pudding. Not for nothing, but my ex-wife was Puerto Rican and her whole family was obese. Yes, sir. I absolutely. I've seen it. I'm like, y'all eat like shit. At least Cubans are malnourished because of this socialist. So they're little and skinny. Then they get fat. Thanks, Alex, for my girlfriend. Thanks, Alex. Now my girlfriend just asked for a wedding. D-Rock Fox, if you've been together for more than 2 to 3 years, prenup it, though. What do you mean a prenup, Alex? I don't got nothing. Exactly. Prenup that shit. If she loves you for real, she will sign a prenup with your broke ass because that's what love is really all about, right? So if you have a 401k or something, she can go after that if y'all get divorced and you thought you were broke before you got married. Oh, brother, if you get divorced, you got nothing and for a very long time. So, hey, if you've been together 2-3 years, get married, make her sign a prenup. We'll see how fast she signs that shit if she really wants to be married. I don't celebrate, so it don't matter to me. Monday, but both. We're all sad, Alex. We got nothing better to do. Okay, then I might do a Christmas Eve. Ain't no one in a hurry there either. Christmas Eve, both. I'll watch. No, but I want to get the max. You know what I mean? Probably a lot of us will be watching. I don't party. I'll watch, says JD Swag. The family watching, Alex says Hunter. I'll be with my girlfriend Monday. Would be nice. I'll say Monday, but playing Diddy clip for the family on Christmas Eve would be hysterical.
Fuck that shit, man. Fuck that.
Wow, could you imagine that? Right before you open your first present, it's just a spit jokes with the family. Prenup. I'll watch if there's a live tomorrow. Christmas Eve, I work. I got to get that money and then go to my mother's for the holiday. Yeah, see my dad go through it. Selling your car. You get married equals selling your car. Exactly. Putting her through trials is fucked up. Okay. I would watch. I got married and bought more cars. Okay. The divorce part is the issue. I lost over $500,000 in my divorce. Prenup. More people would probably be off work Christmas Eve. Good morning. Good morning. Motherfucker. Hey, good morning. Good morning. Why does the clip keep getting louder?
Oh, man. Oh, fuck that shit, man. Fuck that shit.
Oh, poor guy. Okay. All right. I'm going to get out of here. So, we'll see. I might do a Christmas Eve. I ain't got shit going on. So Christmas Eve, I ain't got shit going on unless some puti wants to come over and suck the becho. I ain't got nothing going on. So I'll probably do it Christmas Eve to keep the schedule as is, so I don't have to do 2 days in a row, because 2 shows in a row is hard. Hey, yo. So have a good rest of your Sunday. I will see you guys on Monday or Tuesday, more than likely Tuesday, to keep the schedule going, and we'll go from there. And maybe we could play the Diddy clip for the family watching right before you open your first presents on Christmas Eve. So today we talked about EV being pushed back a little bit because of the incoming administration. We talked about the sales in general of the American sports car / muscle car have been going down since 2015. So that's going to be something to look out for. If tuning is not a thing, you can literally put a nail in the coffin of the American sports car. You got to make it tunable for the people to modify. The car is an empty canvas for us to make our own. So if Ford doesn't understand that, they're just going to lose sales to people that can tune, like BMW and others that are tunable. Hell, Nissans are tunable right off the rip, like the 350 or 370 or whatever the fuck they're called. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys on Tuesday or Monday. We'll keep in touch on Patreon and other socials and let you know when I'll be on live again. Have a good rest of your Sunday. I'll see you guys later. Bye.